So this is an Elddis Crusader Tempest. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. The hookup procedure, jockey wheel and handbrake will go through in person, the same as the electrics. In the front locker you've got your gas regulator with a gas isolation valve on the side of the regulator, but you have also got your gas tap on top of the bottle as well. Front locker you've got your leg winder, which will demonstrate while you're here. On this side of the van you've got your water pump connection, I'm just going to go and grab, but the water pump connection goes into here, so I'll just go and grab that. So the water pump connection is this connection here, and as you can see it's got two cutouts on the side of it, the same as the cutouts here. So as you can see, like I said, you've got the cutouts on the end here, and you've got the blocks on the side here where they locate into. So you push the pump into place on the side of the van, and then the white filter end that you see here will actually drop into the roll tank itself. And we'll explain a bit more about how you fill the system once we're inside the caravan. The cover that you see on the side of the van, the cover just here, is the carbon monoxide exhaust essentially, so you need to remove this cover when you're using the gas systems on board the van. That would be the gas heating and gas hot water. On the side of the van, just below that, you've got the leg winder cut out there, so you can put the leg winder into place and you'll be able to wind the legs up and down. Coming further along the side of the van, you've got the wheels, which will torque the wheel nuts while you're here on site, and we'll make sure they're at the correct tightness, and we'll do them in front of you so you can see they've been done correctly. Next up, we've got the fridge vents on the side of the van. If you do wash the van, we do not advise spraying water through these or onto the vent covers, because it can potentially allow water into the van. And at the bottom here you've got your waste water pipes where your grey pipes go into, and they'll drop down into your waste tank itself. On the back of the van you've then got your toilet flush tank. So this tank here takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. We do advise you drain this down when you are travelling. Underneath, to drain it down, in the toilet cassette locker itself, you've got this little black pipe here. You take the cap out the end and drain it into the toilet cassette itself, for instance, and then you can tip it away. The toilet cassette releases by pulling up the orange handle and pulling towards you. And on the back you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you tip in the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You'll empty it through the neck here, which does turn out into place, and you'll remove the cap before you do that. But before you use the toilet cassette, you'll have to put in 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid. On the back of the van you have your wind down legs on either side, as you can see here. And when you are on site you'd have all 4 legs down to stabilise the caravan. On the side of the van also you have your heating flue that allows heat into the awning, if you have an awning for instance on the side of the van. We're now inside the van, and inside of the van you've got your master power switch for the caravan, so you've got power on and off. You've got your voltmeter to the left hand side. You've got your water tank percentage, so that may say 99, 100%, etc. when the water system is full. On the right hand side of that you've got your pump runs, and I'll explain them in a minute and how to fill the water systems on board the van. And again I'll go through the controls underneath that also in a second. So to fill your water system up, below the seat, as you can see, I've removed the cushion at this point just so you can see what I'm doing. But down in the corner of here, you actually have a drain down valve for your water system. The yellow valve that you can just about see there in the video, if I lift this up there, the yellow valve that you can see there is currently in the fill position. When that valve is pointing upwards towards the bottom of the seat, that is actually the drain position, so that will drain the water out of the system completely. But to fill it, you do need to make sure that valve is pointing towards us, as you can see there, so it's parallel with the floor. Next up, you have your onboard water tank. Now again, you don't have to fill this tank. You can run straight from the aqua roll, which is outside of the van. However, if you're on the site for a good few days, you may want to fill this up, so it keeps the van topped up with a lot more water, so you don't have to fill it every day, for instance. Down the side here, this valve here is actually a drain down for this onboard tank, which, as you'll see, has water in it at the moment. So down the side you can switch this valve round into the position there, so the valve is now currently closed. And when you're travelling down the road, I would advise that you have this valve open so it allows the water to drain out of the tank. So to fill the water system on board this particular caravan, what you need to do first is come over to the tap on the sink in the kitchen, open it on the hot side, and also do the same with your shower and tap in the bathroom. So ignore the taps up essentially on the hot side. Open that up as well. Then what we can do is come over to the water pump switch on the wall. Now if you want to run from the onboard tank, what you'd need to do is press this switch upwards, and the water system would fill from this tank. It would fill this tank first on board the caravan. However, as you can see now, we've got water coming through the taps to each of the taps in the van. I'm just going to turn them off for a second, so we're not flooding the caravan. So if you want to fill, like I said, fill the main tank on board the van, so if you're staying for more than a few days, so you don't have to fill the water system every day, you'll turn the pump on with your aqua roll connected on the outside, and when you've got water continuously running out of each tap, that'll be the water system full on board the caravan. If you wish to run from the outside aqua roll only, you'll just need to put this switch into the down position to where it says taps, and that'll fill just the hot water tank at the front of the caravan rather than the onboard water tank here. Once the system's full, like I said, you'll be able to get the percentage of water that's in the tank on this level just here. To warm the water, you've got two ways of doing it. You've got a electric option, which when you flick this switch on, it'll allow you to warm the water on electric, or you can warm the water on gas. Now to do that, you spin this dial on the outside round to the gas symbol. It will self-ignite on gas, and when it ignites, you'll get this green pilot light just here. It's a bit hard to see in the video. If it fails to ignite, as it has done at the moment, because the gas bottle's not turned on, you'll get this red light appear. When it is ignited though, you can control the water temperature on gas between 30 and 70 degrees of temperature. On electric, it is a preset temperature around 35 to 40 degrees. Below that, we're going to go to the heating for the caravan. Now this is the heating on electric. So you've got your main power switch here for the heating. If this is turned off, this dial will not work. Down the side, you've got 500, 1000 or 2000 watts down there. Now what that means is the amount of power that's coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So for instance, on site here, we can run 500 watts of power into the caravan. Where the green light is where the temperature will set. So at the moment it's on 1, turn it round to 9, that'll be temperature heat 9 on the heating setting. If you want to turn the heating off, you turn that off there, and turn the dial off also. If you want to heat the caravan on gas, you can do that also. That'd be the heating system. You've got the dial just here on top of the heater. You spin the dial round to between 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve, and when it ignites, you'll get a pilot light in this window down the bottom. Now at the moment it's not going to do that because the gas is turned off, but once it has ignited, you hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the gas valve. Once it has ignited, you can control the temperature on the dial on top between 1 and 10. Now with the heating, you've got a couple of different options of how you run the heating. You can run it so the heat comes out the front of the heater just here, or you can have it so it comes out the vents around the caravan, the white vents you see down the front. Now if you want the heat to come out the heater at the front, very simple, you put this little switch here on the dot in the centre. If you want it on continuous blown air, you flick this switch across to the blown air vent, and then you control the fan speed on top. If you wish to have it so it cuts in and out automatically with the thermostat, whether that be the gas thermostat or the electric thermostat behind me, you can put it onto the A on the right side, and that will turn the blown air on and off depending on what the heat of the caravan is internally. If you want to get the hot air into your awning, as I said on the outside, you've got that hot air vent, you can push this up to the top, and that will allow the heat into that awning area. So we just have a couple more things to go through on the van. The first one being the operation of the fridge. You've got power on and off on this switch on the front. So you've got power on. You've got 3 different power sources, or you can run this fridge on 3 different power sources. Whichever one you're on, you'll control the temperature on this button on the right hand side. To change the power source you want to use, you press the grey button on the left hand side. So you've got mains power now, so the fridge will work on 240 mains as long as you connect it to mains power. If you press the button again, you'll go to 12 volts, so when you connect it to your car, the fridge will work as a cool box. It won't completely chill the fridge, it will only work as a cool box at that point. And if you wish to operate the fridge on gas, you can also do that. Just here, the light just down here is your pilot light for when you are on gas. If it failed to ignite, the blue light would flash at you, and it would also come up with a spanner symbol here at the top and an error code 9. All we advise you do at that point is to make sure your gas bottle's turned on and reignite the fridge. The microwave, when you are travelling, we do also recommend removing the microwave plate. If you leave it in there and the door pops open, it could potentially damage your worktop or your hob, etc., or the cabinets and fridge opposite. So the last thing on this van is the toilet system. Very simple to use. You've got the electronic flush on top, so you press the button in and that will flush. You've got a full indicator light here to let you know when the toilet cassette is full. And down the bottom of the toilet itself, you've got the waste flap here, which allows the waste into the toilet cassette underneath the van. So when it's open this way, the waste will go into the cassette. And if it doesn't, if you've got it here, it'll actually just sit on top of the black flap for the waste cassette. If you have any further questions on the Elddis Crusader Tempest, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll do all we can to assist you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.